Hey, what's up, folks? How you doing? Welcome to another quick live. I know this is a rather odd time of day for most of you, and I doubt as a result there'll be many people hopping on. However, if you do happen to hop on, regardless of whether you are playing catch up or you're on the live itself, if you could do me a massive favor, hit the like button, demolish it like you're trying to smash the screen on your phone. Hashtag live if you are on the live, hashtag replay if you are playing catch up. That would be absolutely amazing. Just helps to get the message out there to a few more people, and hopefully at least one person can benefit from this little presentation I'm about to go through. So I'm just going to give it a couple of moments there, see who hops on. Like I say, drop any comments, let me know who we've got here, and I will kick things off in a moment. Insert intro music here. Perhaps some nice soothing beatboxing might help. No, that's just ridiculous. We're gonna have fun at least anyway. Well, I am anyway. I don't care about you guys. Yes, I do. That was a joke. Of course I do. Tyler, what's going on? Facebook user, how you doing? If there's a little thing there near the old stream giggle thing, whatever it's called, if you can just give that a tickle, that would be amazing. Just lets me see who I'm dealing with. Got a lot of Facebook users and one Tyler. That's awesome. Joseph, how you doing? Thanks for hopping on. Hashtag live, really appreciate it. Cool. Okay, so the stragglers will just have to play catch up. Right, so why is authority important? Why is it an important thing? Let's start with that one. Oh, boom. That was meant to be half of boom, half of awesome. That came out as boom. Man, lost my capacity to speak already. Gosh, I swear it's just water. I swear. Or is it? You'll never know. Right, that's awesome, man. Congratulations. Big round of applause for Tyler. Had an incredible year last year. Got married to his dream lady. Had a baby. This year, moving house, things are on the up and up, man. That's awesome to hear. Right, so authority, back on topic. Authority, why is it important? Well, case in point being the wonderful people that have decided to join me on this lovely live at this weird time of day or night, depending on what part of the world you're in. Why is that? Why'd you jump on, right? Because you feel like maybe old Jamie Face has something important to tell you. Maybe you can get like a tiny little bit of value, maybe, or you came to hear a heckle. Either way, I'm fine with it. It's fine. Go nuts. Do your damage, and that is because I have, or you might make an argument that maybe, just maybe, I have like a tiny little bit of authority under my belt, and that is basically because I tell you guys that I have authority all the time. I show off my lovely awards. I'm actually only allowed one. There's another one floating around just out of sight. You can't really see it, but my wife will not allow me to have more than one award on the wall at the moment. It's very depressing. So I show off the awards. I talk about how I've helped a lot of people. I discuss things to do with my Ultimate Marketing Mastermind on a fairly regular basis, things like that. And what that does is, over time, it allows me to build authority. And so, oh yeah, Brian, how you doing, man? Good to see you, Julio. Anyway, so that's authority. And if you think about, for example, and I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again because I don't have any original thoughts anymore. They're all gone. But if you imagine for a moment, hopefully most people here know who Russell Brunson is. And if you don't, then come and find my ClickFunnels affiliate link anytime you want. Just kidding. I don't even affiliate through ClickFunnels. Please don't tell them that. Anyway, so if Russell Brunson said to you, he's got this mastermind, right? So $100,000 a year, to the best of my knowledge. Might be more now, I don't know. But let's say it's 100K, which is a chunk of change, right? Like most of us would agree that 100K for some education and masterminding and stuff like that, it's a fair old whack. And so imagine for a moment, knowing that, now that you guys know that, imagine for a moment, old Rusty says, listen, I like you guys. I really like you. But tell you what, 99% discount. You can have it just 1K without even knowing the offer, without even knowing what you're going to get and how it's going to help you, blah, blah. You'll just be like, all right, here's my cash, right? Like you wouldn't even really need to see an offer. And so that is why, as an example, why creating authority is really, really important, because it allows people to connect with you. It allows them to actually pay attention to what you're saying as well. That's the other thing. So that's kind of why it's important, right? And so the question then remains, like, and this is a thing that we all have to go through, which is, I'm new. Why would anyone pay any attention to me, right? Why would I, as a brand new marketer, be able to compete with the likes of Jamie, that scallywag? Maybe you can't because I'm that good. No, I'm kidding. I'm not that good. Everyone has the capacity to create authority and build a relationship and create authority in the minds of their audience, right? And so I'm going to go through a couple of ways that we can all do that. And I'm going to add a little extra bonus one on if you guys stick around for a little bit as well, which is going to be super rad. So share my screen. Now, I think I've managed to do it in a way that I don't actually need to go to my extra tab. I think I've set it up properly. Right. So really simple. Imagine, for an example, if you were hypothetically to get Mr. Brunson on an interview, how much authority would that give your brand? Which is why you often see people taking photos with people that are authority figures in this space, or celebrities, or whatever. It's because this is called deferred credibility. It's that idea that if you're rubbing shoulders with those folks, then some of that authority can't not rub off on you, right? So we can all do it. We can all go out there and just literally just text. You just have to ask the question. Go and ask the question. Like, find someone that you believe is someone that you think is an authority in your space, coaching or affiliate marketing, whatever it is, and go and just throw it out there. See what they say, right? But be prepared to be ghosted and rejected, because it's not going to be plain sailing all the time. But think about how impactful that would be if you were to go and interview a whole bunch of folks. Pretty powerful, right? It's how you can gain a ton of authority. You can then, here's the cool part, is every now and then, not to brag, but every now and then on interviews, I might drop some nuggets. Every now and then. I can't guarantee it, but sometimes someone gets me in a good mood, and I just happen to drop a couple of little nuggets of gold, right? And like little gold dust that I sprinkle everywhere. And so therefore, if I'm on the other side of that and someone comes into my group or whatever, and I'm interviewing them, and they happen to like give it like a soundbite that's freaking amazing, what I'm going to do is then leverage that. I'm going to like type it out or create some sort of short form video out of it, or use that as part of a podcast or whatever, with their permission, of course. And so now you can just leverage that one piece of recording, that one interview. You can actually leverage that to quite to the nth degree, basically. Another way is engagement. This is something that we can all go get. Now, for those of you, when I say engagement, if you're an organic marketer on the old Faces, or that almost sounded like a different word, didn't it? Gosh. Should perhaps strike that one from the record. It's just my accent, I swear. But depending on what the platform is, you can be on Facebook, you can be on Instagram, Twitter. They all work in a relatively similar manner, right? And it's about going out there, and it's about activating the law of reciprocity. And this is the idea that if I go and give something to someone of any perceived value, we as humans have a subconscious bias to want to return the favor, right? So if I go out there and I engage in the timeline of my thing, that's good English there, Jamie. Engage in the timeline of the stuff. There you go. That's your lessons for today, folks. No, if I'm on the old Facebook on my phone and I just scroll through and I'm like, oh, here's something that's really cool. It's actually from one of my students, Kelly T. Yeah. Right. So I would go and I would give it a love heart, and then I would drop a comment that's relevant to the post. And in this case, because I haven't read it, I'm just going to say awesome stuff. Please don't judge me. But I highly encourage you to actually read through them, right? Because otherwise you're sort of doing yourself a disservice. Remember, quality is better than quantity. Now, this is what I would call just kind of randomly engaging, right? Just scrolling through your feed, scroll. And so what happens is the law of reciprocity will kick in. And at some point, some of those people are going to start seeing more of your content popping up in the old feed, right? And so therefore, some of them go, oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, this is a pretty cool post. I'm going to like it. I'm going to add a comment, things like that, right? And so even though likes aren't loot, okay? So just because you get 1,000 likes or 100 likes, whatever it is, doesn't mean that those people are automatically going to turn into customers, right? I'm not saying that. But what it does give you is, guess what? Another principle of persuasion, social proof. right? Real simple social proof. So that way, and think about the subconscious bias. If I'm stumbling my way through the world of Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or any of those things, and I see that, oh, hang on a minute, this is interesting. This person has around about like 100 comments on this post. That's really remarkable. Subconsciously, at least anyway, I'm validating them in my own mind. So in my own mind, I have created them to have authority, basically, right? Super powerful. We can all go do it. Takes literally 10 minutes a day. I like to gamify it, as in, for example, say my target is like 25 for the day, then I will just, well, actually, I've outsourced this now to my other half, but I would just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and cool. Takes like 10 minutes, make a whole bunch of comments, not super complex, right? Then at some point, once you start picking up prospects, then you can do more targeted engagement on their stuff as opposed to just randomly on your timeline. But it is effective. It also helps from the other perspective of when you've got a whole bunch of people that have commented on your stuff and you put up your content, it's going to push that further and further out to the algorithms as well. That's the other reason why you do that. Now you guys can read the rest there, but testimonials, not super complex to get. Imagine if, now here's the thing, right? For those of you that are brand spanking new to this whole world, and you kind of like trying to feel your way through it, going, oh, I don't really know what this is about. Like, is this good, bad, or otherwise? And then you happen to go and learn something. So you might learn on this very live that authority is an important aspect of it, or creating a sense of authority. And so imagine if you take that aspect and you went, cool, okay, I'm going to make my own little notes about that and going to write down some of those things that Jamie put down in terms of the ways that you can build that without financial results, all that type of stuff. And then you go, okay, cool. Well, now I can help someone else with that. Or maybe you just learn lifetime customer value. So you now understand, okay, well, that's why high ticket affiliate marketing is going to get you more pay dirt than low ticket stuff and recurring, because your lifetime customer value starts higher. So now you know that stuff, right? You can go and help someone else out, get a testimonial. Now imagine if you do that for 5 people. What happens is if you hop on a call without the intention of selling anything, hey, I just want a testimonial, I'm going to try and help you out. Cool, sounds good. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, 5 of those, you can transcribe them. Now you've got a whole bunch of extra content that you can use. You've also got them sitting there permanently, so you can use them for all sorts of stuff. And if you guys go on there's like a little hashtag thing on the right-hand side of this group. There's actually a thing there which says testimonials, which I've been collecting, not all of them, some of them, over the years. So go check that out, right? And so over time, it keeps building your authority. And because I have like such a delicate ego, I get everyone to say really nice stuff. Jamie is awesome, all that type of stuff, right? And so over time, builds, and then eventually you end up having your own financial results, and then they spread on to your students as well. And with those students, of course, you can get testimonials from them. Basically, hey, Jamie helped me do the thing. Or Jamie's awesome. He's helped me sell a whole bunch of stuff, and I couldn't have done it without him. He's awesome, right? And so therefore, from a branding perspective, it helps massively raise your authority. But you don't need financial results to do that. You just need to help someone else out. Now, here's the other little kind of side part about that that's awesome, is that when you give a testimonial, or you get one, and you've spent some time with someone, you've helped them out without the intention of trying to lure them into some sort of sales environment, what will happen is they'll come back to you, because they'll be like, actually, you know what, that person really helped me out. Wonder what they've got. Wonder if there's anything else that they can help me out with. And it's often where, without you even trying to sell stuff, you have people coming back to you, right? Which is really cool. It's the other added bonus. Audience growth. A lot of my students do this. It's kind of like group growth. So for example, if you've grown from 0 to your first 50 group members, or your first 100, your first 10, show that off, right? If you go from, say, for example, 50 to 100 group members in a week or 2 or 3, show that off. Hey, 100% group growth in less than 7 days. Drop a comment if you'd like to learn how. Because I guarantee when you look at this group, you're like, what, 4,600 people, whatever it is, right? And you think, like, I started at 0. We all did. Every single person started at 0, right? And so then when you take that stuff, and it's just like the first 10 people, first 20, whatever it is, you're still able to leverage that to show a sense of authority to someone who hasn't got to that point yet, right? Other thing you can do is low ticket sales. So of course, I'm a high ticket affiliate marketer, and as counterintuitive as this may seem to people, I actually suggest to folks go with what you're confident in. And most people have not had to sell a high ticket item before, so it goes against the grain for them to go, hey, give me 5K and I'll teach you how to do XYZ, right? Like it's a foreign concept for so many people. And so what I say is wrap up like a disproportionately massive amount of value around a low ticket offer. And like I say, it's not the most intuitive thing. It's probably very counterintuitive. But the reason why you're doing that is going back to my comment before about lifetime customer value, is you're trying to create your own set of customers. And even if you're doing that around an affiliate product, you're the gatekeeper between that. So you're developing that relationship with those people. And over time, it's going to grow and grow and grow. So when you sell something to someone and it's like a $30 thing, for argument's sake, and they have a great experience with it, they're like, actually, this is pretty damn cool. And then you send an email or you message them or you like literally just ask them, hey, what's the next plan? Do you need some help getting there? I've got this awesome program. I really believe in it. I'm going to just start it myself, but I've seen a whole bunch of people getting some awesome results. Happy to send some details over if you're interested in checking that out. No, hey, no worries at all. Thanks very much for letting me know. Do you think it's a no forever or no's for not quite right now? Not quite right, not quite now. Gosh. And then they say, oh, maybe just not at the moment. Cool. When's a good time to follow up? Give me a couple of months. Okay, no worries at all. Bang, put in your calendar, follow up a couple of months, right? So real simple stuff. But it could be in the meantime, they don't have the capacity to jump into a high ticket offer. They might not need another high ticket offer. They might not need more information. And so they might come back to you and go, actually, you know what? I do need a little bit of help with XYZ. Cool. Well, actually, I've got this other thing. It's actually only a couple of $100 and here's what it's going to do for you and blah, blah, blah. Is that something of interest? So even as an affiliate over time, lifetime customer value grows, right? Super, super, super powerful. Right. What else? A mention from a mentor. And again, this comes back to deferred credibility. So think about why people take photos with celebrities, like why they wrap their arm around Russell Brunson and take selfies and all that type of stuff, right? It's the same thing, something that's going to rub off. And so if you're able to, you kind of has to be a natural thing. You can't just kind of like say, hey, can you please mention me? But if you do get a mention from a mentor, then it can help to build your own credibility as well. Deferred credibility is everything I've just been talking about, really. It's that whole idea of like rubbing shoulders with other things. But the way that you can use it, for those of you that are part of an existing high ticket program, I'm going to make the assumption that those programs hopefully have some sort of track record. And if they don't, then hopefully the vendor, the owner of those programs, have some sort of track record. And what you can do in a very authentic way, it's not saying, oh, look at me, I made 10 grand today. It's none of that. You don't need to. That's kind of the cool thing. Because guess what? Everyone's bullshit radar is so highly dialed in, they're going to spot it a mile away, right? And so what you want to do is, if you're leveraging that, you go, I'm so happy to be part of this amazing program. Look at the incredible results that are coming from it. And you show the screenshots of people that are kicking butt. And even though I know consciously for a lot of people, they're probably thinking, how and why would I do that? Because wouldn't the person just go to that person instead of me? Maybe in some cases, right? But the more detached you are from that process, the more likely they are to want to come to you anyway. Plus, you're also the gatekeeper between those two worlds anyway. So you're like, hey, I've got this thing. It's really cool. You guys should check it out if you're interested. Yeah, there you go, right? Authority by association is everything I just mentioned as well. Inbound leads. So here's something for you guys. Real simple. Go get your phone out right now. Let's do it all together. Unlock your phone. Go to your Facebook app. Go onto the stories feature and create a story, right? Little story, and there's a poll option on the story, and it says, you can have it like yes, no, but instead of having yes, no, you say like info, maybe, whatever, right? And then when you do that, and you have a whole bunch of people like cruising past in the internet world, and just one of them, all you need is literally just one to click on that. You can then engage in conversation in Messenger from your phone right into their Messenger. And so what that does, now you've got one inbound lead. They have responded to your call to action that you put out there. Could be anything like, hey, who wants to see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You'd never guess I worked in finance. Want to see the top 10 ways you can create authority, why it's important to create authority and how you can create it without any results at all. hit the poll option, right? So then when you get one inbound lead, you've now got something you can prove to your audience that you know what you're talking about. I want to see how I was able to get 6 inbound leads in one day without doing any work, or like doing minimal work. Don't BS, people will spot it. But that is another way, right? So now that you're creating authority around yourself because you're getting inbound leads, which is really, really powerful. And quite literally solving problems for people. This is simply, again, going back to some of the stuff I've already mentioned, testimonials, like getting, mentions from mentors, things like that, solving problems, helping people out. Who'd have thunk it, right? Like helping folks out. Wow, my God. Like makes them want to hang out with you and proves that you create authority just by doing that. Now, again, if you're brand new and you're thinking, what do I know? I guarantee you know some stuff. I guarantee it. I guarantee that even if all you've learned is what affiliate marketing is, then there's going to be a trillion people out there that don't know what affiliate marketing is, and you can help those people. Might not be the right business model for them, but you can at least explain it, right? And if you want a really simple way to explain it, here's how I've always done it. It's exactly like how real estate agents don't need to own a property to sell a house or a property and receive a commission for doing so. Affiliate marketing is no different, except for we're doing it via a referral link. And once someone clicks on that, me as the affiliate marketer receives a commission for doing so. Amazon is the largest affiliate network in the world, right? So that's all I say. Like, you guys now know that, right? For those of you that are brand new, you didn't know how to articulate it, now you do. So now you can help people out. So the other thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to show you one more special sauce way, and I appreciate everyone that's stuck with me throughout this arduous journey together. I really feel like we've gone through a lot today, really do. So appreciate it. Appreciate everyone that's tuning in. But the last way, and I'm not going to be able to see my screen, so if you guys are asking questions and things like that, I cannot answer. I cannot conceive what you possibly could be typing right now. That's the thing. Right. So here's the ninja stuff, real ninja. Now, this involves a bit of creative thinking, and you do need to be okay at writing in order to do this, but implicit authority. Implicit authority, right? I made that up. I don't know if it's an actual thing, so don't quote me on that. But the implication of you being able to imply certain things through your writing. Right. So I'll give you some examples. Does anyone know what I mean by that? I'm just going to sip my water. I forgot how much fun lives were. I should do more of them. Do you guys like these lives? Do you actually get benefit from them, or you just want my face to disappear and I just put out written content and that's it? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Who said that? I'm going to highlight that. Who is this? 10K in 30 days. 10 days to 30K. Can't sigh loud enough for that one. There's look. Everyone's bullshit radar is so highly dialed in. People will smell that a mile away, and they're like, "What? What is that?" Oh, I should have known. Kelly. Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Cool. Okay. So, you don't have to bullshit, right? Like it's there's too much of it out there. Like I say, people will spot it a mile away, and the bullshit radar is so highly tuned in because there's a bombardment of all this media and information around, and people they just tune out to it, and you'll ruin the sale, basically, right? So, however, you can imply certain things. Love it. Welcome to the modern technology. This crazy contraptions and their commenting and stuff, but I appreciate it. Okay, so implications in your content. What do I mean by this? So let's say, for example, I have invested quite heavily in my own personal development and the growth of my business. And so hypothetically, if I was to tally all this up, I actually don't know what the figure would be. It would be significant by now, but let's say $1 trillion, just for argument's sake. One trillion, definitely 1 trillion. Right? So if I've invested $1 trillion in my own education, now let's be serious for a second. Let's go about 50K. I don't know if it would be. How do you define that? I have no idea, right? So in my own education. So let's list a couple of these out and we'll do it in real time. It'll be fun. 50K in my own education. What else? If I'm brand new, imagine I've made one little low ticket sale, right? Just an example. Just need one, doesn't matter, right? Because it's the implication thereof. That's what we're aiming at. What else? Just authority. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, rubbing shoulders with marketers, right? Going back to our thing, deferred credibility. I'm going to tie this all together in a moment. You guys will have your minds blown, hopefully, maybe. Maybe not, actually. Come to think it's pretty crap. Nah, just kidding. It's awesome. Let's just create some space there. Right. Rubbing shoulders with marketers. What else? Implicit authority on education, low ticket sales. And going back to the things I was saying before, group growth, engagement, audience growth, engagement, things like that, right? So just I'm not going to exhaust this list. I'm just going to go through a couple of things to highlight, right? So now that we've got a little sample size and I can explain exactly what I mean right about now. Good on you, man. Love it. Right. So if I was to imply something here, especially let's start from the top down. Hopefully you guys can still see this okay. But you could say something to the effect of, whether it's verbal or written, it's really up to you. You could say, I've invested K in the growth of my business. So that alone, I could leave that at that, right? Just for the time being, I could leave it at that. I've invested 50K in the growth of my business. And so think about what's happening subconsciously for the reader is that you're delivering a couple of little messages that are a little bit sneaky source messages. One is that over time, it starts to become very logical that if someone is to get educated and perhaps start a business, they will need some form of startup capital. And so if they keep thinking about this big figure, like 50K, then it creates what we call a price juxtaposition or a price anchor. And so the price anchor or price juxtaposition is seeing this big ass number and going, 50 G's, that's a lot of cheddar right there. So that way, when we reveal our price, it seems minuscule by comparison. If you guys want a real life example of this, click the Google Doc in the description there. It's going to lead you through to an incredible Google Doc written by yours truly, and that actually has some price juxtapositions on it, price anchors. I just really like saying that word, to be honest. That's why I say it. So imagine that is there, and so that's the first part. Is that okay? Big number. Subconsciously, of course, and then when, like I say, when you reveal what the actual price is for your thing, it seems tiny by comparison. Like if I was to then follow up by saying, hey, but you know what, you can actually get started for literally just $7. You've got an entire week to work out whether the masterclass that I produced is of value to you, and then there's an extra $20 due, just the one. So total cost is actually only $27. What? Oh my God! Here's me thinking it would be 50K this whole time. Oh man, you tricked me, Jamie. You damn good marketer, you. And so I can leave it at that, right? But we can also take it a little bit further. And again, this is implied. Pretty tricky. And I'm going to, I was going to say rub a couple of them together. Like sticks, I'm going to make a tiny little fire, which it's going to become a bonfire. Right, so if we look at this one here, you guys, at the moment, you're hanging out with me, which I really appreciate on your Thursday evening for some, or Friday afternoon for most of us, in the Australasian region, put it that way. Right, and so where's it going with that? Oh yeah, and have teamed up with 6 and 7 figure marketers. Again, teamed up, like, right? That's you joining a program, right? You've technically teamed up with someone. Or I've been getting the secret sauce, right? We can write it real sneaky, and have it's going to go down a really dark path for a second there, but I won't. Or my business, and have been pulling the brains out. No, that's not a good one either. You don't want to. That sounds quite vicious. What do you want to do? You want to have unlocked secret key. Unlock, right? Unlocked the secret held by 6 and 7 figure marketers. Imagine this implication here. So one is the pricing. The second, I'm not sure if I actually mentioned that, but the second component of doing that, so one is creating the price anchor. And actually, sorry, I did, but just to reiterate, the second part of doing this type of stuff is it subconsciously gives permission for other people to do the same, because of course it becomes logical, which it 100% is, that if I'm to get educated, I probably need to invest in my education somehow. If I'm to grow a business, even startups, they have angel investors, right? Like there's not really that many businesses where you can start from like absolute zero. You might, and it can happen in affiliate marketing. It's just going to take you a little bit more time, right? And so therefore people, they see this stuff like, oh yeah, I suppose if I'm going to like grow my business, it's just like going to college. Like college cost me $30,000 a year, and so this one I can get involved for like less than $3,000 and I can do the thing. That's pretty awesome, right? The other part of this is unlocking anything is kind of cool. The secrets, those devilish bloody 6 and 7 figure marketers, I tell you what, those guys, all their secrets. And what that does is, like, now all of a sudden you writing something like this creates massive authority, because you're making the implication, right? Like, I know something, I've unlocked the secrets for you guys. Come here, get around, unlock the secret, right? That are being tightly held. I can make it even better. Tightly held by 6 and 7 figure marketers that they don't want you to know. And so what this does, like I say, you're implying something and you're creating authority out of the back of it. Another way to do this is low ticket sales. Like I said, you can front end load this stuff, and I highly recommend people do it, because it's going to do one of two things. One is it shows to your audience that you know your stuff, right? Hey, I've got a low ticket sale. It might be $1, who cares? Doesn't matter. It's the point of you creating an audience, adding value to that audience, and then extracting value and having that equal exchange. They get their product, their service, their offering, their membership, whatever it is, you get remuneration for that, right? And so that's one part, but for your own mindset, it validates that it can be real, right? So if you're like looking at the big figures going, I want $1,000 days, but hands up, before jumping into the online world, who had $1,000 days as the typical earning day? Not many of us, to be perfectly honest. And so therefore, a lot of the time that extends beyond what our financial thermostat is actually dialed into. So a low ticket sale, by contrast, most of us don't have any issues by asking any old stranger, hey, if you want to check it out, it's going to cost you $20, $27. You can figure out whether this is right for you. It's got a 30-day money back guarantee. You can actually drop a deposit of just $7. You got a whole week to work out whether you want to keep it. And if you do, then it's just going to be an extra payment of $20. Not super complex, right? And so when you do that and you make your 50% commission, 90% commission, whatever it is, like I say, it validates in your own mind that it can be real. And that there sparks your confidence. Your confidence then starts to grow the more you do it, right? And so then eventually the gap from going a couple of little low ticket sales to your big ass high ticket sale, it's usually pretty small after that, right? So, but sometimes you have to front end load. What I mean by that is put a disproportionate amount of value up front. So it could be, for example, you might go, okay, I'll give you a coaching call or a series thereof. You might decide to maybe even send physical gifts to people if you're so inclined, not because you're trying to make yourself go broke, but like it's that whole thing of getting that starting point, because the snowball is hardest to start at the beginning, right? It's the hardest thing. And then once it gets a bit momentum, grows, and all of a sudden it's just, this giant snowball that's just rolling around the world, taking, entire cities with it, basically. Anyway, back to implication. So you can also imply other things. So if you have made a low ticket sale, you can say things to the effect of, one of the reasons why I'm able to make sales, right? It's still accurate, right? Is because I'm awesome. Because I'm awesome. Right, and I understand this is out of use. Let's change that up. It's because I'm awesome, right? You don't have to say that last part, but again, it's the implication. One of the reasons why I'm able to do this, one of the reasons why I'm able to sit up here and confidently teach you guys about this stuff is because I've been doing it for years. I've been in the tooth for well over a decade now. I kind of know a few things, right? And I don't say that out of a sense of arrogance or like false bravado or anything like that. It's really because I've been through the trenches. I've failed so many times, ridiculous. And I know some stuff, right? I'm dedicated to this whole thing all day. Guess what I did just then? Now, for the untrained ear, it probably just seems like some egotistical bullshit. Like, oh, Jamie's up there like bragging about his stuff, but it's not. It's me. I'm confident in what I've achieved, which is finally a good place to be in my life. It took me many years to get there, and then the other thing is, it just keeps, guess what, revalidating my authority that I know what I'm talking about, and you guys are getting value. Crikey. Awesome. Right. What else? So then we can go, okay, well, what about things like non-tangible things, group growth, engagement? We can say, guess what? I'm going to use the same format. One of the reasons why I was able to grow my group by X% in just 7 days is because I am super says my wife. Right, you get where I'm going with that, right? Point being is that, again, it's an implication. One of the reasons why I was able to grow my group by 38% in just 7 days is because of this ninja trick that I learned from Jamie called implicit authority. Right? You can write it different ways as well. So we can go again. We can go. People want. Well, here's one for you guys. Let's do it like that as well. Want to be part of the community because you guys get why this is really powerful to understand. Because if you don't, then I've failed you dramatically, and I'm terribly, terribly sorry. Is it making sense so far? Processing paperwork. Awesome. Cool. Right, let's do some more. Engagement. Again, I saw an X% increase in my audience. This one little trick. Well, pretty groovy, yeah? What does that say? If you're brand new, or even if you're like a few weeks into your journey and you start doing something and you're kind of going through the motions, you're sort of like figuring out as you go. You're not entirely sure if it's the right thing to be doing, but you're giving it a fair old crack. And you're able to say this type of stuff. What it does is that the person that is metaphorically behind you and on the ladder, or lower than you on the rung of the ladder, they're going to look up and go, wow, it's increasing group in the audience after this one trick. What is the one trick? Right? Because you've dangled the carrot, you've created curiosity, which is marketing. Now, I'm going to show you guys some examples. Feel free to click the link below. Like I say, it's going to lead you through this amazing doc for the masterclass, which is now on demand. I've hosted it last 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, and something in here I wanted to do. Oh yeah, here we go. An implication. This is why most affiliates give up after a few months. And if you don't want to be on the statistical scrap heap, you want to understand this concept, right? So think about if you're. So I'm going to go right to the beginning. I'm not going to do a full breakdown of why this was a bit of a cracker, but if you're a new affiliate, or have yet to crack the Magic 5K per month mark, this may be the most important thing to read today. So who am I calling out? Guess what? New affiliates, and the majority of affiliates, because most of them aren't above the 5K mark, right? So it's quite a clear directive of who I'm calling out. Now, of course, if you fall into that category, because guess what? I have authority. You need to pay attention when you're reading through the stuff, although some people still don't. And then when you get to things like that, you're like, oh well, yeah, this is why most people give up, because he must know, who's been through the mud for years doing this stuff, which is true. I write this stuff was actually based on truth, right? Blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, there's another one. Why almost everything you've heard about affiliate marketing can be thrown out the window once you uncover teensy guru secret. What is the guru secret? I want to know that. That's incredible. Are you making this flaw in your marketing efforts? Sadly, I've seen this play out hundreds of times in new affiliates and leaves people broke and confused. Right, but think about what I'm doing there. I'm rubbing salt in a potential wound, and I'm creating a sense of curiosity around that. But I'm also making huge implications. Like the implication is, I know some stuff that you guys don't, right? Because probably I do, because I've been doing it for longer. But it's that same thing, right? And I just realized I only shared one tab, so none of that's going to make any sense whatsoever. Damn it! Crikey. Well, that just blows that out the window, doesn't it? That's just typical. Right. So I'm going to try something here. Let's see if we can go start the screen. I'm going to go one real quick. Sorry, I'm just going to race over that real quick because I think it's super important. Or, you guys could just literally check out the doc, jump on the masterclass. That's the other way you can do it. Right. So all I was doing is pointing these out, right? So are you making this flaw in your marketing efforts? Sadly, since play out hundreds of new affiliates and leaves people broken confused. Here's another one. The belief should do. Caution, use this sparingly. This has been one of the most powerful tools at my disposal in the growth of my business. Once I started changing this one little belief, 1K sales started rolling in like clockwork. Very powerful line, right? The guru lie holds most people back. Releasing will be like rocket fuel to your cash flow. Seven-figure accelerant. Lead gen, right? So that was all I was showing you guys. You didn't really miss much. Go have a look at that dog. Anyway, that's it. Go and create some authority, folks. We can all do it. Every single one of us. Not super complex. Just think about creating curiosity in your audience, which, as a result of which, you're going to create a sense of curiosity. You're going to create authority as a byproduct of that. That's what I meant to say. Any comments on that? Any questions? Anyone want to lock in a special deal on that masterclass? Or you got me on the live? Because if you do, I might just give you a special bonus. Maybe. Well, I sincerely appreciate that. Yeah, man, 100%. I'll give you guys a free gift while I'm here, actually, because I'm feeling generous. It is something that I think is very, 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 very beneficial. Well, it is to me anyway. Give me a moment for me to get the details of the thing that I'm trying to give to you guys. Yeah, Tyler, they it can be quite fun as well when you start think about these things. Biggest, like, real simple things for you guys is when it comes to your copy, like, think about two things. One is go and study the crap out of Alex Hormozi's value equation of $100 million offers his book. It's $1 from Amazon. Go and just like ingest that until it is ingrained into you, because it is kind of like the foundations of everything. So that's number one. The second thing is have a think of it's something called the one sentence persuasion, and there's actually, if you guys check the files section in this group, and for those of you on YouTube, head over to my free Facebook group to check this out. There is a thing there. It's a guide. It's from a dude called Blair Warren, and it's a PDF, and it's basically the one sentence persuasion is people will do anything for those who I can never remember, who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, and help them throw rocks at their enemies. And it's super powerful, right? Because if you can ingrain those two into you, combined with what I'm about to, little nugget thing I'm going to drop for you guys, then you're going to be kicking butt. If I can find it. Here it goes. Right, give that a nudge. And yeah, there's just some words on that. And it's just an avoidance of things like learn, so, uncover, unlock, discover versus learn, things like that. Because if you think about what people don't want is hard stuff in our life, it's usually how we're predicated, is like we want to minimize how hard we have to work to get stuff. Basically, it's just kind of like a subconscious thing. So if you can write that, it kind of implies that it's easier, then yeah, you're kicking butt. Oh yeah, nice work, man. Boom. Yeah, man, 100%. Awesome. All right, I'm going to bounce. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for hanging with me. I intended for this to be just a very short little live, but I have not gone live here for a little while. I thought you guys probably deserve some good value. So hopefully you got value from this. Like I say, check out the masterclass if you're interested. And to your comment there, Tyler, feel free to check that out. And if you don't intend to buy it, absolutely fine. But not to brag, but it's quite well written, I think. It converted really well. So the formatting has worked out pretty well. So anyway, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. Keep throwing out those offers. Keep asking questions here in the group. Is there anything you'd like to learn? Let me know. More than happy to produce some stuff to help you guys out along the way. So anyway, have an awesome weekend, guys. I will catch you another time. See ya.